I only touch greatness.
Y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready. I only touch greatness. You hear me? I'm on the podcast. Your boy Crook. It's the West Coast hip hop culture. All right.
Yo, I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna ask next, man. Like it's been,
I mean, hey, I got you.
Hip Hop Weekly. We want to talk about the Hip Hop Weekly.
I got you. If you want,
which one's your favorite?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, which one's my say it again, Ryan?
Which one's the favorite Hip Hop Weekly
of mine?
Yes, correct.
All of them.
I know, of course, that was the right answer, but
all of them, bro. That was a the first time when I did it, it was a very pivotal moment in my career because it was hard to create separation. They say when you leave Death Row Records, you have the Death Row curse for 7 years in the industry. That's what they say. So for 7 years, supposedly, this dark cloud follows you everywhere. Nobody really wants to touch you or do business with you. And I found some of that to be true. And by the time I got around to Hip Hop Weekly, which was like 3 years after I left the row, it created that separation that I needed and it started a new chapter in my career. And it told a different story about me as an artist. And that story needed to be out there. And it was innovative. Nobody was doing it at the time. And, it landed me on the cover of the freshman cover of Double XL. You know what I'm saying? And I really, that's like a baby to me. You know what I mean? That's my contribution to hip hop because after I did that, a lot of artists followed that stencil and they started doing it themselves every week, dropping music. So I always wanted to contribute something to hip hop innovative. And I could say that I did that and it still works. It worked amazingly for us. It worked. Some people come up to me and they like, yo, man, I got the idea off you. That helped me get a record deal. Like, it's just really, it's really beautiful. So yeah, man, it's like really close to my heart, the weekly series. And when I did it again, I did Reloaded. Then I came back and did it with my brother Diz. And Diz from Detroit, Michigan, is one of the greatest new producer artists in the whole fucking place. And I just don't get why more people in Detroit aren't embracing him and using, getting his production and bringing him in the lab and just working with this brilliant young man. It really frustrates me sometimes because this dude is a genius. So, shouts out to him, man. He did the whole 52 weeks.
Tell him you got all that shit. No, how you gonna play this?
Is that somebody I see?
Okay. Is that fucking Tech?
Tell him what you got out.
Is that Tech? Hey,
yes.
And we gotta get the Kings on here too one time for an interview too. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, what y'all working on?
And so we have a project out. We just put our first project out January of this past year called Clear and Conjure. We're brand new. We're a brand new group. We started we actually made our first song in 2020, in March of 2020. But we have a lot of music done. We've got music with Tech is on the first track of our EP, having a conversation about how we put music together.
Oh, that's ill.
That's dope.
Yeah, so he actually got me alive. I came over and played it because we've been friends for a lot of years. And when he found out that I was making music, he said, "Herb, I got to tell you this, man. I love you, bro, but I won't play with music. I'll tell you what's up for real. Like I'll tell you that it's bad to save you some time and some money. You know what I mean? Crook knows him, so he knows how Tech is. Take a look you in the eye and be like, man, let me tell you what's up." So he said, I went over and played it for him right here, and he said he sat up and he looked at me and he said, "Bro, you really got something on your hands here. But you can't put it out unless you put live drums on it because we're a different kind of an act. I'm a rapper singer. He's a singer guitar player, and we make everything ourselves. Everything. We got no producers or engineers involved. We send our music out to get it mixed and mastered. We come to Kansas City to get our live drums played at Strangeland. But aside from that, we do everything ourselves. And I wrote my first rhyme in 2020. So for Tech N9ne to tell me for Tech to be willing to even do songs with us. We got a song coming out with X-Rated called I'm Free. We've got a song with Recognize and Lex Bratcher called We the People. And what we stand for is the greater good. we're really different, man. I have Christian based belief systems. He doesn't at all. You know what I mean? I believe in a God. He doesn't. But what we found out was that being friends over all these years, that we treated people the same, regardless of what we believed in. So if I go home and I pray and he don't go home and pray, should I decide that we not brothers no more? It don't align with anything really to me. So and me and Tech and I have shared a lot of the same ideologies over the years. He's been a good mentor to me. So when we started making music, I think we were probably a little more prepared. This dude's been playing the guitar for 35 years. He plays almost every instrument that there is. And we're making music, I think, to implant shit in people's heads that matter. You know what I mean? And show respect to the OGs, show respect to the young ones that's coming up and everything, because this hip hop thing is a life changer.
Yes.
It can be a life changer, and it can change things socially as well if more MCs would be willing to understand that they can help create a lighter lane so that our youth doesn't have to leave hip hop to go hear music that make them want to smile and be happy. Because that we got music that make us want to dance and fuck in the club, right? Or we got music that make us sad. We got all of that stuff, but we don't have anything. A lot of music is not genuinely happy. There's some of it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to discount those artists, but that for our kids to go escape into and stay inside of our culture has got to exist. I don't care if it comes from the young or the old.
Nah, you're absolutely right, bro. Like, music is a power tool, and it's like they got this documentary, I think it's called 1971 on Apple, and it talks about how music changed society. You know what I'm saying? That year, because you had Marvin Gaye saying what's going on, you had John Lennon saying imagine, you had people going against the Vietnam War, and the music moved society into the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how powerful music is. So we need all types of music. We need a full balanced meal when it comes to music. We don't need the same frequency over and over and over again, because it's also a Pied Piper, and it can lead the new generation and some of the old down the wrong path too. It's two ends of the spectrum. So we need all of that. So if you bring in that type of high vibe music to the table, we can't wait to support that, because we understand that needs to be, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, flat out. Can't wait to hear it, man.
Right.
Hold on, because Herb said one thing that was wrong. That ain't your first rhyme that you done wrote, brother. Like, you might tell all these other people, I know what's really going on.
Different.
Right, and this is good, because that's right up AD Empire's alley, because they make a lot of dope content with a lot of musicians, man, including a lot of people that we were just talking about this too. Like, they'll look at like somebody on social media and they'll do a song with them, like they did on Anthems and Icons, like. So hook up with AD Empire Lucas, man.
Well, we have an EP coming out. We don't know when yet, with Doodlebug from Diggable Planets, and it's straight jazz. Like, there's moments in the records where I just did jazz keys. We have upright bass. We got like switched it up straight jazz. So it's gonna turn heads on it. It's just bringing musicality to it. Like showing different layers, that it's not just like Crook said. That's why Crook and I think my brother and I have Crook already knows how I feel about him from from a couple of years ago when we first connected, but our energies connected because Crook is a poet, is a musician. He's not just a rapper. You know what I mean? There's rappers. There's like beat makers and producers. I call myself a producer because I like to incorporate bridges and intros and outros and hooks and strings. You're there. You're a guitar player. You understand that as a musician, you want to create layers and not just have, not to say there's anything wrong with a beat maker. A lot of these guys are winning right now with beat making, just a loop and Fruity Loops that loops for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not taking it away, but I come from the world of, here's the studio, drums.
Yeah. Talk to him.
Keys,
talk to him.
Right? There's another keyboard there, vocal booths in there, throw everything to some analog gear, and you just kind of, you know what I mean? So, I'd love to connect with everybody here. That would be dope. And I have to say, Crook is one of, and I don't say it because I consider Crook, La Familia now. He's an honorary Italian brother of Adrian and I. But
Dominic Entriago. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, he. I remember when we connected, a mutual friend connected us, and he gave us his cell, and it just clicked, and he's just a real dude. Like, there's not many in the industry. We've all been there. We've worked with people, that you work with, and it's great at the time. You do your track, you move on to the next thing. But working with Crook, and I know there's more stuff to come. We chat all the time. I bug his ass all the time.
Yeah, man, we have fun. I was telling him how we just, we talk music, talk everything,
we talk everything, and that's what it's about. But that's what, Fallen Angels on Anthems and Icons was something that we were doing separate. And Crook's like, remember, he was like, I got these verses. Let me go back to them. Next thing you know, the track came out, and one of my favorite tracks on that album. So
he literally just told that story. Yeah, he told that story like 10 seconds before you dropped in.
Oh, dope.
So that was good. That queued up pretty well.